What's going on, everybody? Welcome back into TTP Sports. Decided to do a live recap tonight. Thought it was early enough to do one, even though I say that it's 12:30 in the morning here. So, why not? Phillies just ended. They finally won an opening game of a series. Who would have thought? Who would have thought that the Phillies could win an opening game of a series? Not me. Not me. With Allard on the mound as well. With Allard on the mound. And I thought he was solid, all things considered. All things considered, tough situation for him. I thought he was solid. Gave up one run, was a solo shot, and that was going to happen eventually. He wasn't going to shut out Arizona for the extent of his outing. I believe he went, 5 innings in this game, only allowed one earned run. So, for the sample size that he gave us for tonight, I thought he did his job. He kept the team involved, and that's what you got to do in that situation if you're Allard. Phillies had a ton of chances to score, though, in the beginning of the game. They had so many chances in this game to tack on even more runs. But they did get timely hits later on in the ballgame, which is very important. JT Realmuto, for the first time it feels like a millennia, gets an extra base hit, gets a couple of extra base hits in this game, home run included. Wow, who would have thought? And who would have thought some 2-out hits, driving in some runs, bases loaded. Trey Turner comes up with 2 RBIs. Bryce Harper comes up with an RBI. Edmundo Sosa gives you some insurance in the 9th inning, including with the JT Realmuto solo shot after the Diamondbacks make it a 1-run game. You would go up 4-1 in this game. Orion Kerkering comes in and instantly shits the bed, walks the first batter, and then immediately after the next pitch, Jake McCarthy gets a 2-run shot. All of a sudden, it's a 1-run game. He manages to settle in after allowing a few more base runners after that. Jesus Christ, that was a risky as hell non-decision by Rob Thompson to take him out there. Risky as hell. But Orion Kerkering got out of it with the lead, so I guess I can give him credit there. But the overall experience of Orion Kerkering, I don't know. I don't know how I feel. I just don't. Not feeling good. The instant reaction is not good with Orion Kerkering. But then the rest of your bullpen did its job. Jeff Hoffman did his job in Jeff Hoffman fashion. Alvarado started off shaky, walked 2 batters in his inning, but he managed to get out of it unscathed. Estevez allowed a run. Eventually that scoreless streak that he was on was eventually going to come to an end. Still managed to get out of it and get the save. Kept it at a 2-run lead. That's what you ask your de facto 9th inning guy to do. And that's what Estevez did. And that's, very important that you got an insurance run thanks to Edmundo Sosa. JT with the leadoff double. Sosa bloops it down the line and scores JT. You probably could have got another run in the inning, but, can't ask too much of this team right now. But it's baby steps. It's baby steps with the offense. There's some guys that do look confident. Alec Bohm was smacking the ball all around the place, was just getting unfortunate with certain things. He could have had a hit with runners in scoring position, but, he hit the ball hard, and, Gurriel made a nice play there. He did have a nice double that just barely missed going out of the ballpark. Weston Wilson had a couple of nice hits today as well. Got absolutely boned on a ball that just barely went foul by millimeters. Like, what's the smallest, meter that you can use? Like, in terms of measurements, like, what's the smallest, term of measurement that you can use there? Because that's how small it was between Weston Wilson having a bases clearing double, basically, and a foul ball. And he got the unfortunate side of that, which turned out to be a foul ball. And then, in turn, the Phillies didn't score with the bases loaded in that inning. And I think that was the following inning when Allard allowed the home run to Suarez, which, of course, goes off the foul pole. Because, of course. But hey, overall, you got to win. You won the first game of the series, which is very important. In a game where the pitching matchup did not favor you. Yes, I understand Jordan Montgomery's numbers are not good this year. But it's the stance where you have Allard on the mound, and you're going to have to throw some bullpen arms after that because he's not going to go deep into the ballgame. It definitely was not in your favor. You found a way to win. And that set you up with Zach Wheeler, Aaron Nola, and Christopher Sanchez in the next 3 games. You got to win this series. That's why I keep stressing it. You got to win this series. I will not accept a split. I will not accept a split. You got to win tomorrow. You got to win with your ace on the mound, and I need Zach Wheeler to have a good game tomorrow. It's, it doesn't take the pressure off Zach Wheeler. He needs to have a good game tomorrow, and I expect him to have a good game tomorrow. I don't expect him to get knocked around like he did against the Yankees. So, even though this Arizona Diamondbacks team has been playing like one of the best teams in baseball for a little bit here, I need Zach Wheeler to go out there tomorrow and dominate and shut down this Arizona lineup. That's what he needs to do, and I need this offense to continue building off of the confidence that it looks like it is building off of the past couple of days. So that is uber important for them to do. And, bullpen guys, stop with the shakiness, please. Can you please stop with the shakiness? That would be nice. Just don't, please. Just stop being shaky. It was very questionable from Arizona's standpoint. I believe they used Caccone out of the bullpen basically for the rest of the game. I have no idea why that was the decision there to go to that arm because you were still involved in the game. So that was definitely questionable on Arizona's side, unless they just didn't they didn't have any bullpen guys available because did they have a doubleheader or something like that against the Guardians the other day? So that definitely could explain why they didn't really utilize the bullpen there. So take it for what it's worth, I guess, at the end of the day. But still, you got a nice win. And that is the most important thing that we can discuss here. 3 wins in a row. You got a series win against the Dodgers, and you win an openings game of the series, which is something that you haven't done in a while. I want to see the confidence continue to get built. And it does look like there is some confidence being built with a lot of guys in the lineup. That 6th inning, all with 2 outs. Rojas finds a way to get on base with 2 outs. Schwarber works a walk to load the bases. And then Trey Turner squeaks one through the left side of the infield to score 2 runs there. And Bryce Harper puts it in the perfect spot of the outfield for another RBI knock there. And Bryce Harper was very aggressive on the base paths tonight. Turned a lot of singles into doubles. He had quite a few hits tonight. He was very aggressive on the base paths, and that is a good sign for Bryce Harper. He was 4 for 3 in this game. I believe he did have a couple of extra base hits, if I am not mistaken, unless they didn't count those in those instances. They probably didn't. It says Harper only had one double in this game, but I do remember him stretching some singles into doubles. So that is the uber aggressive Bryce Harper that we do love in that instance. Phillies also went 4 for 15 with runners in scoring position. Sosa went 2 for 2 in those situations, so that is nice to see, even though he only has 1 RBI recorded on there. Wilson went 0 for 1. Rojas went 0 for 3 with runners in scoring position. Marsh went 0 for 1 because he had a chance later on in the 9th inning. Trey Turner went 1 for 2. JT went 0 for 1. Bohm went 0 for 3. Castellanos 0 for 1. And Harper 1 for 1. So, you Trey Turner, Bryce Harper, that's very important in that stance. But I would like to see Alec Bohm come up in those chances, even though, like I said, I think he barreled the ball up really nicely in this game. He just got unfortunate where the ball was hit in those positions. Like I said, Gurriel made a nice play. He hit, he laced the ball down the right field line that just went right into a glove of the Diamondbacks right fielder. So that was just the luck of Alec Bohm for tonight's ball game. So I expect him to eventually break that up a little bit there. But yeah, if we just want to look at the totality of this game and just where everything happened. So, basically, nothing really happened in the first couple of innings. Bryce Harper got an infield single in the top of the first. Nothing happened there. Allard was getting a ton of double play balls early, actually, so that was nice to see as well. In the bottom of the first inning, McCarthy singled, then Gurriel singled, then he managed to get Bell to ground into an inning and a double play, so that's nice. Castellanos singled, and Weston Wilson singled in the top of the second inning. Nothing happened there. Rojas tried to bunt with 2 outs and just got unfortunate that the ball didn't go anywhere off the bunt, so he was thrown out at first base. Another double play for Allard in the bottom of the second inning. Top of the third, Schwarber got picked off, so that wasn't nice to see after he singled. Then you get top of the 4th inning, Alec Bohm with a leadoff double. Nick Castellanos gets intentionally walked, and then Sosa reaches in on an infield single, which was nice. And then Weston Wilson, after, he laced it down the left field line, and like I said, just barely, like the lowest, determinative measurement in the world. It was foul by. Whatever is the smallest measurement, that's how much foul it was. That sentence doesn't even make sense. That sentence doesn't even make sense. How much foul it was? It doesn't sound right to me. It's almost 1 in the morning. Deal with me here. I decided to do a live stream tonight, like I said. I just felt like it, change it up a little bit from the recorded recaps. So, and then Johan Rojas flies out to end the 4th inning. So, nothing really happened there for the Phillies. Bottom 4, Allard gets another 1-2-3 inning. Top of the 5th, after a Bryce Harper double, Alec Bohm cannot drive him in there. That was when Gurriel robbed him of a hit there. Bottom 5th, Suarez hits the home run down the line. Becomes a 1-0 Diamondbacks lead. Allard does get another inning-ending double play to stave off further damage, so it's still only 1-0 Diamondbacks after the 5th. Phillies respond in the top of the 6th, though, so that's a really good thing right there. Nick Castellanos, he gets hit by a pitch, and all of this is done with 2 outs. Weston Wilson doubles off the left field wall. Gurriel kind of misplayed it a little bit. Ball bounces basically all the way in front of him off the wall, and then Castellanos just hustling around the bases, scores because of it. It becomes a 1-1 game. Rojas, he walks with 2 outs when Montgomery's looks like he's getting a little gassed. Schwarber then starts at an 0-2 count, works a walk there to load the bases up. Diamondbacks go to the bullpen. Trey Turner gets the 2 RBI single, makes it 3-1, and then Bryce Harper with the bloop single to make it a 4-run game. And Bryce Harper also battled in that at bat there as well with a 7-pitch at bat. So 4-1 game there. Then Kerkering comes out for the bottom of the 6th, walks Ketel Marte. It was a very long at bat. It was a 9-pitch at bat where Kerkering was up 1-2 in the count. So that just can't happen. McCarthy then homers on the first pitch he sees, just a completely hanging sweeper right over the heart of the plate. And McCarthy sends it out, and all of a sudden it's a 1-run game. Just like that. Kerkering allows the next 2 guys to get on base, Gurriel with a single, Bell with a walk. Then they do a little mound visit to get him back in the check. Grichuk grounds into a fielder's choice. Force out at second base, runners at first and third with 1 out. Gets Suarez to strike out on 4 pitches, so huge stuff there from Kerkering. And then he gets Newman to strike out on 3 pitches. So whatever was said in that mound visit fixed Kerkering there. So, yeah, can we not have that beginning of the inning next time, Kerkering, please? Because you're slowly starting to lose my trust. And, yeah, I don't trust him as much as, Hoffman, Alvarado, Estevez, Strom, and all that stuff. But, Kerkering has good stuff. And I understand he's very young, but I need you to perform when your number is called. And sometimes, recently, Kerkering has not performed. Top 7th inning, JT Realmuto responds. Has a very long at bat, down 1-2 in the count. Fouls off a couple of pitches. There were fastballs that were over the middle of the plate. And once again, he got a hanging slider that just stayed right up there, and he crushed it. Back at the left field stands. Comes a 5-3 lead. And thank you, JT Realmuto, for responding there after the Diamondbacks made it a 1-run game. Jeff Hoffman comes out in the bottom of the 7th inning. Herrera gets the 1-out single, but then he manages to get Marte to strike out and McCarthy to strike out. So good stuff there from Jeff Hoffman. Top of the 8th inning, Kyle Schwarber did have a 1-out double, and Bryce Harper got intentionally walked. Nothing happened there. Bottom of the 8th for the Diamondbacks, Jose Alvarado out there. Leadoff walk to Gurriel. Then Bell grounds out into a fielder's choice, so force out at second base. Then he walks Grichuk, which makes it first and second. Then Suarez comes up. Alvarado strikes out Suarez. And then he strikes out Newman unscathed for Jose Alvarado. Good stuff there. Big balls. Top 9, JT with a leadoff double. Always nice to see, so hopefully that home run brought him some confidence. Then Sosa doubles down the right field line. Gets that insurance run. Estevez in the bottom of the 9th. Leadoff single for Perdomo. He eventually steals second base with 2 outs. Then McCarthy gets the 2-out RBI knock to make it a 2-run game. Tying run comes up to the plate, and Gurriel Jr., he flies out to end the ball game to shallow right field. And Estevez gets the save. Phillies get the win. 6-4. They're now 69 and 46 on the season. Nice. Very, very, very nice. Lineup in totality for tonight. Kyle Schwarber, he goes 2 for 4 with a walk and a run scored. Trey Turner goes 1 for 5 with 2 RBIs, so that was a huge hit there for Trey. Bryce Harper, probably his best game in a little bit. Besides that one game that he had in Seattle at the end of that series, he went 4 for 3 with an RBI and a walk as well. Alec Bohm goes 1 for 5. JT 2 for 5 with 2 extra base hits, a home run, and a double. Nick Castellanos goes 1 for 3 with a walk and also an intentional walk, I believe. He also got hit by a pitch, actually. Edmundo Sosa, he goes 2 for 5 with an RBI. Weston Wilson, 2 for 4 with an RBI. Brandon Marsh came in the pinch hit. He went 0 for 1, and then Johan Rojas goes 0 for 4 with a walk. But that was a huge walk with 2 outs because that set up eventually trade for Kyle Schwarber to walk, and then Trey Turner and Bryce Harper to get those RBI knocks. So don't discredit that Johan Rojas at bat. His game, even though he did have a chance with bases loaded again, and he didn't come through. So take it for what it's worth. So Allard's full stat line tonight: 5 innings, 6 hits, 1 earned run, 3 strikeouts, no walks on 59 pitches. So, like I said, had a job to do, did his job. That was, definitely was not expecting him to only allow 1 earned run in this game. So he did his job, and that's the most important thing at the end of the day. Kerkering, he allows 2 earned runs in an inning of his work, 2 walks, 2 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 strikeouts on 29 pitches. Hoffman allowed a hit, but struck out 2 on 14. Alvarado, he walked 2 and struck out 2 on 24 pitches. And then Estevez allowed 2 hits, 1 earned run, and struck out 2 on 17 pitches. So good stuff there from the Phillies. Also some good stuff standings-wise from the Atlanta Braves. The Atlanta Braves got swept by the Milwaukee Brewers, so that helps you in the standings-wise. But the Mets, I believe, won their series against the Colorado Rockies. So now the Mets are in second place in the NL East. So right now, that is the team that you got to focus on at this point, because now they're, like I said, they're in second place, and I don't believe the Braves are in a playoff spot right now, which is very odd to hear. It really is. Yeah, the Braves are a half game out of the wild card spot. The third wild card spot, that is. So they're battling right there with the Mets. The Diamondbacks are in the second wild card spot, and the Padres are in the first. And it's very neck and neck. It definitely is. And the Mets right now, they are 61-54. You're 69-46, 8 games above the Mets. Mets are 6-4 in their last 10. You've won 3 in a row. They've won 2 in a row. The Braves have lost 5 in a row. So, yeah, they're feeling it. The Braves are definitely feeling it. And I believe they see the Brewers again not that very long from now. So we'll see what happens with them. What's the Mets' upcoming games here? I believe they're still on the West Coast, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they play the Seattle Mariners. They play the Seattle Mariners, the Oakland Athletics at home, the Miami Marlins at home, and then they have a tough stretch right here in the middle to end of August. 3 games at home against Baltimore, 4 games on the road against San Diego, and 3 games on the road against Arizona before they get a break by seeing the White Sox and the Red Sox and the Reds. So that is probably the toughest stretch of the Mets schedule right there before the end of the season. Because the end of the season, they see the Phillies twice. They see the Braves and the Brewers. So the Mets definitely have a difficult stretch upcoming. So Seattle, that'll be a tough series for them just because of Seattle's pitching. Oakland plays teams hard, so we'll see what happens with them. Miami, that is a series that the Mets should win. And then we'll see what happens when they play Baltimore, San Diego, and Arizona. But at the end of the day, you got to control your own games. You got to focus on your own schedule. And the Phillies right now have won 3 in a row. And that is the most important thing. And if we look at the rest of the series, the last 3 games here, pitching matchup-wise, so Zach Wheeler is going to be going tomorrow, going up against Ryan Nelson. He's 8-6 with a 4.65 ERA. So I don't think the Phillies have faced him this year, so we'll see what he is made of. His last start, he went 5 innings, allowed 4 earned runs, struck out 7 against the Pirates. Then he went 7 innings, getting no earned runs against the Nationals, allowed 4 earned runs against the Royals, allowed 1 earned run against the Cubs, allowed 3 earned runs against the Toronto Blue Jays. So we'll see. Zach Wheeler is definitely going to need to pitch well tomorrow. Aaron Nola is going to be pitching on Saturday, going up against Zach Gallen. He's 9-5 with a 3.75 ERA. I believe he is just basically coming off of the injured list. Actually, he's been off of the injured list for a while. So I know he was injured when they were playing the Phillies earlier in the year. So that's probably what I was thinking of about that. Let's see with Zach Gallen. He went 7 innings against the Guardians, allowed 5 earned runs. Still got the win there. Went 6 innings against the Nationals, allowed 1 earned run. 6 innings against the Pirates, allowed 3 earned runs. 5 innings against the Cubs, allowed 0 earned runs. And then 3 2/3 against the Blue Jays, allowed 6 earned runs there. So the Phillies are very familiar with Zach Gallen over the past couple of seasons. Let's see what they can do. And then Christopher Sanchez is pitching on Sunday afternoon against a to-be-determined pitcher before they have the off day on Monday and then play Miami at home for 2 games. So we'll see what happens here, boys. We'll see what happens here. Got to win this series. Got to win this series. Got to win tomorrow with Zach Wheeler on the mound. Got to do it. Got to win this series. I'm not accepting a split. I am not accepting a split. I'm not. Just not. And I want to see if there's anything else here on the post game. Not sure. Not sure if there is. Nope, not seeing anything here from the post game. It looks like they did talk to JT Realmuto post game, so I actually do want to bring that up here with the broadcast talking to JT, see what he has to say here. So let's bring this up here. JT, what you got?
How did that feel tonight? You got your first home run since you came back, and then you followed it up with a double.
Yeah, I felt like my first barrel since I've been back. Honestly. That's cold. I told you to keep it light. That was a lot of water. Yeah, that felt great. Put a couple good swings on balls late in the game there. It was nice to get a couple extra runs and help the boys win.
So you looked like you were working a little early today, and BP, anything in particular that you might have been working on while you were taking those early hacks?
Yeah, just trying to have a cleaner path to the ball. I feel like since I've been back from the IL, I haven't been in the zone very long. I've been kind of dipping and then up, out, over. So I have a small window to make contact, and I feel like today I just worked on kind of cleaning my hand path up just so my barrel's in the zone a little longer.
And after all that work, is it gratifying when you see it come through like that?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, because it's not fun struggling in this game. Everybody knows that. You always want to be the one helping the team, hitting the home runs, having good games. And when you're struggling, it's obviously tough to get through. So to be able to come through for the guys tonight, that was fun.
Yeah. Took some early batting practice. Let's see if that continues to come through fruition for JT. Got some extra base hits, so maybe it all needs its confidence. That's probably, and I know we were giving a lot of JT some breaks, with him coming off of the surgery and all that stuff, but eventually it was taking a little too long for him to find himself, and it was getting a little tiring with him, just being an automatic out at this point. But good for him, because if you could find a way to get JT's bat going, that's just another good bat for this offense, because we desperately need it. We desperately need it. We need guys to get going. And if you can get, Schwarber continues to be going because he had another couple of hits tonight, and, the power will eventually come with him more. If Trey Turner keeps finding a way to chip in here or there, even though I would love to see Trey Turner just go on a complete hot stretch like he was before going down with the injury, coming out of the injury, because I would prefer that version of Trey Turner, to be honest. I think all of us would. And if Bryce finds a way to get hot, I think that gives a little bolt of confidence for this team. You need your best players, you need your high money guys to do the work. And let's see if that just continues to happen here. One game at a time. One game at a time. Got to get the win tomorrow, though. Got to get the win. Win tomorrow, then it's basically you win one of the next two after that. But you got to win one tomorrow. Focus on tomorrow. Zach Wheeler on the bump. Offense needs to help him out. And Zach Wheeler needs to have a good game. Can't be getting shelled, which I don't expect him to, like he did against the Yankees. But Zach Wheeler does need to have a good game. That's the bottom line there. Zach Wheeler needs to have a really good game. So let's see. Here's an interesting stat here on Colby Allard from Frank Close on Twitter. Frank Close, he is part of 97.3 ESPN Phillies reporter. Colby Allard, he had a 9.49 ERA in Lehigh Valley in April, was sent to AA in mid-May after taking a break, and combined for a 13.5 ERA in the month of May. Give him credit, he got it together. Phillies take him game one. Jesus. So, yeah, it's good for him, man. Good for him. No one's really expecting much of him. Neither am I, to be honest. And, his past couple of starts have been pretty solid. Even though that's not going to last, obviously. Once Ranger Suarez comes back into the rotation, eventually Taijuan Walker looks like he could be coming back into the rotation at some point. His previous rehab start was delayed because of weather. Then he had to get sent to AA or something like that to get the rehab start in. So he was supposed to come back during this series against Arizona. So now it's being pushed back to the homestand. And I do believe the Phillies also said that they're expecting Ranger Suarez to be back and ready by the homestand as well. So you will be getting some bodies back for your starting rotation. So whatever that means for Allard, whatever that means for Tyler Phillips, most likely those guys' time in the rotation is coming closer to an end. So we'll see. Definitely not the biggest fan of adding Taijuan Walker back into the rotation. But like I said, we'll see. We'll see at the end of the day. Oh, boy. Not sure if there's anything here from Rob Thompson. I don't think there is. So, yeah. I think that is a good spot to end it off here. I just felt like getting the live stream up, just doing it for the fun of it. So yeah, we do have one guy here in the live chat. Tyler, how you doing? We can actually enjoy baseball now. We'll see, Tyler. We'll see. We'll see what happens the rest of the series. So I appreciate everyone here that tuned in during these late hours, and for whoever tunes in, when they wake up or something like that in the morning and see this on their subscription feed. I appreciate you guys for tuning in when you do. So don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section down below. Don't forget to drop a like. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It does me a good deal of service. And also use the code TTPSPORTS, $20 off your first purchase at SEATGEEK. Great deal. Do not pass it up. In terms of the recap tomorrow, it's basically just pick or choose if it's a live recap, if it's a recorded recap, really depending on how late the game is. To be honest here, it really just depends. And I see Miss joining in at the last second, cautiously optimistic. Honestly, that is the truth. Cautiously optimistic. That's my motto right now. Take it one day at a time. So yeah, we'll see what happens. And like I said, depending on the recap, it's really depending on how late the game ends. If the game ends near 1, you're getting a recorded recap. If it ends somewhere in the 12-ish range, you can get a live stream. So, like I said, it really just depends on what happens. So, thanks, guys, for tuning into tonight. And for people that tune in eventually, overnight or in the morning or whatever it is, appreciate y'all. Good win. Let's keep winning.